Stay there if you want, dude. I'm not even bothered. Really? Hey, you beautiful buccaneers, Falcore here. So with all the fancy things going on in the game at the moment and the community fired up for the new update and of course the return of Flameheart, I thought I'd delve into a little speculation about a lore character we at least see a few times during every game session. The Ferry of the Damned is shrouded in mystery. We know its purpose, to ferry the souls of the dead pirates back to the land of the living so they do not become lost in the Sea of the Damned. And we also know it's a great place to vent salty remarks such as bloody hacker and stop killing us, we're friendly. But the real reason it is here is still one big mystery. When we play the game, we are automatically granted access back to the land of the living without first receiving any judgment. But from a lore perspective, the ferryman determines the duration of your stay upon the ferry, depending on your deeds whilst you were alive. Grace Morrow, the former captain of the Shroudbreaker and member of the Forsaken Alliance, talks about her service with the ferryman and the Ferry of the Damned, and proclaims that she's not sure how long she spent in the ferryman's service. Maybe years, maybe decades. Some poor souls who were guilty of misdeeds during their time in a living world are locked below deck and can spend an eternity reaching out to those who walk up above. It's a pretty gruesome thought that is often ignored when on the ferry as you rush back to save your ship. We know that before the Ferry of the Damned was here, when a pirate died, he simply died, never to return again. Or he was cursed by the huge number of cursed treasures and trinkets within the world, either cursed to live his or her life as a skeleton or a merfolk. But at some point, the ferryman and his ship came into existence within the afterlife. Now we know two things. The Pirate Lord talks about the ferryman making a huge sacrifice and we are to respect him for this. And we also know that the ferryman became the overseer of the Sea of the Damned by choice. We learn this in the tall tale Fate of the Morning Star. The ferryman sunk his sloop, clambered up the peak of an island with his coffin in tow, drank from a bottle containing a poison, and lay himself to rest under a dying tree. But the biggest mystery is who buried him in this coffin when he died. So there was another person involved, or at least knew of his death, and buried him here to keep his treasure safe. The Lantern of the Damned, which allows us to see into the spirit realm and see the last moments of a cursed soul taking place. During a more recent tall tale, The Seabound Soul, Pendragon gives you this lantern once more and says that he received it from a friend. There is only one of these lanterns in existence, and you gave this lantern back to the ferryman at the end of the Fate of the Morning Star. So it's safe to assume that Pendragon and the ferryman are old friends, and Pendragon could have possibly been the one to bury the ferryman after his demise. Pendragon is also a sort of champion of the Order of Souls, and knows a wealth of arcane knowledge beyond any other lore character within the game. Could it be possible that Pendragon and the ferryman were the ones responsible for creating the Ship of the Damned? Up until recently, I always thought the ferryman's role was a form of purgatory, a punishment of some sort put in place for his misdeeds in the living world. You can also see what appears to be an iron clamped to his foot, which gives an indication that he is somehow bound to this vessel. However, thanks to the Fate of the Morning Star tall tale, we find that this iron was present whilst he was alive, which can mean only one thing. He escaped servitude whilst he was living, in order to set in motion the Ferry of the Damned. But servitude to who? And why did the ferryman make it possible for people to essentially become immortal? Well, it's my theory that when Flameheart Sr. was present in the Sea of Thieves, he had in his control not only a massive fleet of ships, but also the ability to control the undead hordes. And with this power, he laid ruin to the Sea of Thieves with an army that could not be killed. A plan was needed to fight this scourge back. And in a time when if you died, you remained that way, those who fought Flameheart's fleets were slowly dwindling. So maybe the Ferryman made this sacrifice to fight back, and essentially give those who fell to Flameheart's wrath a second chance. Maybe the ship that the Ferryman was imprisoned on was the Burning Blade. Or not. Hell, I don't know, it's just speculation. Calm down, Nanny Pants.